Wow, those are really bright. Just wanted to let you guys know, next week is graduation on Thursday. You all are invited to come out and watch and support your seniors, 7 o'clock. And we have one more announcement, and Mr. Crawford's going to help me announce this one.
Chess Club. Yeah. Today, Dr. Hickey's room, last chess club of the year. The streets will flow around with root beer, of course, they have to. Okay. Pledges. States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag,
to the Savior for his kingdom stands, one Savior crucified, risen and coming again, with life and liberty for all who believe.
I pledge allegiance
to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. I will hide his words in my heart, that I might not sin against God.
There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing could compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, God. And I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, God. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, God. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing could compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, God. And I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, God. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, God. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord.
And he is jealous for me. He loves like a hurricane. I am the tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. He is jealous for me. He loves like a hurricane. I am the tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us, and how he loves us so. And we are his portion, and he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. And if his grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. So heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. And I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. I pray that as we go throughout the day, we are constantly reminded of your love for us and your sacrifice for us, and that we find comfort in that fact.
And I pray that we are able to finish out these few weeks strong, and that everything we do today be glorifying to you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Every day, women and children are being sexually exploited throughout the world, and our community is not exempt from this unthinkable evil. On June 4th, we have the opportunity to say no more. Will you help us shed light on this modern-day slavery by doing something? In 2015, 433 human trafficking cases were filed right here in the state of Texas, with 337 being sex trafficking related. It's not always physical bondage that keep women and underage girls tied to their abusers, but emotional and psychological bondage as well. But on June 4th, we can help break these chains and give a voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, and freedom to those enslaved by simply walking, running, or volunteering at the annual Running to Rescue event. Running to Rescue benefits the One Voice Home, a shelter and safe home being developed for underage girls here in Lubbock. For more information about registering for the event or becoming a business sponsor, please visit runningtorescue.com or find us on Facebook. Together, we can set the captive free.
Good morning, students and faculty. Not yet?
Is it on?
Okay, I will talk very loud until they get this mic going, okay? Because we're going to need to turn light. Good morning to all of you. As you have just seen, you've watched a video about the cause that we're standing for as a community because there's evil in our world. And today we're going to announce. Okay, we are going to. When she made the announcement, she turned it off. Our routine did not go according to plan. But sometimes things do not go according to plan. And for young girls that we are raising money for, things have not gone according to plan either for them. And we were just singing about the love of Christ. And the love of Christ for us is astounding. And there's a people group in our community and worldwide that they do not know the love of Christ. They're in bondage. And they are in bondage to human trafficking. And how many of you realize what human trafficking is? You are a slave. You do not, your liberties have been taken from you. And it's astounding what's taken place in our world, and we have to have causes to raise money to set individuals free. You know, at the end of the Civil War, we thought slavery was done away with, and it has not been gone for very long before it shows up once again. And this time it shows up in the form of sex slavery. And it's an unthinkable evil. And it's happening more and more every day. And it's not slowing down. And today we're going to share awareness about what's going on. And how many of you have been a part of R2R in the past? Tell me you've been a part. Okay. How many of you would like to be a part of R2R? Let's raise your hands. Every one of us should raise our hands. We should all want to be a part of walking in the feet of Jesus, because Jesus would be there, right there in the middle of this cause, helping these individuals be free. Because these girls and these young children and these men and young boys, it's not limited to young girls anymore, but our community with one voice is going to stand up strong, and we're going to put a safe home here. And we're going to fill it with little girls who did not have an advocate, did not have a loving parent like you all have to stand by your side and give you an amazing opportunity. You all are the cream of the crop. You all have been raised in this Christian school, and you're going to be given the opportunities. I know the seniors are gone. In the next few years, you're going to be at this brink, and you're going to go out into the world, and you're the next world changers. God is banking on you all to raise the standard of Christianity, of righteousness, and to say no to the devil and say, not on my watch. These things will not happen in my watch. And he needs your voice. So I've introduced John to come and be a part of what I'm going to share today. And he is a parent in this community. And you know what? Sometimes we think of a prostitute. And how many of you have heard of Rahab in the Bible? She was a prostitute, right? We know the back end of Rahab's story, and it's amazing. She is in the lineage of the Lord Jesus Christ, a prostitute. And we don't know what the early part of Rahab's story is until we get to heaven. We don't have a clue what the early part of Rahab's story was. But we know once an individual gets stuck in that trade, you cannot come out. the stigma that's upon you. And then on top of that, with human traffickers, they will beat these girls. They are literally slaves. Their freedom has been taken away. And so today we want to share how this little device that I'm holding in my hand is an amazing tool. And how many of you have a phone? How many of you have your phones? Yes. And of course, you don't pull them out here, right? Because you don't want to lose, what is it? Is it $25, $15? That's valuable, right? To use it. You keep this tucked away, and you only use it when you leave the campus, right? Wink, wink. And for those, yeah, we hear the laughter. And so this little device is an amazing tool, but it is also an amazing tool for us, but also an amazing tool for traffickers. And I want John to tell us what just took place within the last 4 weeks in this community. And before I do that, I want to tell you about what took place about 5 months ago, when I got a call from an individual at my office, and she said, I live here in the city of Lubbock, and my niece attends A&M. How many of you going to A&M? How many have plans to go A&M? Okay, several of you. Well, her niece was picked up by a trafficker who she thought was a boyfriend who had vetted her for a while, because they will pretend that they're your boyfriend, so they'll pretend that you're your friend. So I don't want to create fear in you, but I want to create awareness in you. And I want you parents that are in this room to be paying attention very closely. This individual says, you know what, I'm a truck driver. We could go and make a run really quick. They had built a strong relationship. He pulls up his truck, his 18-wheeler, up to the front school of A&M, picks her up and says, well, don't worry, I'll have you back by the end of the day. You just go hang out with me. I have to go make a run, and I'll be back. Well, he was not her boyfriend. He had tricked her. He was not going to bring her back. He was taking her to be a slave, to be trafficked. There's a fire ends up in the back end of that truck, and an officer pulls him over. They run his plates and do everything that has, guess what happened? He was arrested, and she is shocked that she had been encouraged to think that this guy was her boyfriend. And so this is how close it's coming to home, you all. It's no longer, and when we think of the perspective of our shift has to change, when we think of a prostitute, when we think, well, that girl, why is she a prostitute? Let's ask ourselves a little closer. Why is she a prostitute? What was broken in her heart, and why did she end up there? And so there are a lot of individuals who do not have loving parents to protect, because I want John to share his story of what happened, because he is a loving parent, very astute and very paying close attention to what's taken place, but there are many that do not have that. John, share your story.
My story started with a frantic phone call from my wife. She was so frantic that she was crying. She couldn't speak very, very clearly. And so finally, when I got her to calm down, I said, what's going on? She said, I got a call from Michaela, which is my daughter. Michaela's school. I said, what happened? As a dad, my heart dropped. I got a lump in my throat. She said, well, it's nothing bad. She's okay, but it's something that we're going to have to take care of. So what had happened is that a parent of that school had called on the hotline and had mentioned about an app that was out, an app that we have on our phones, okay? This app was targeted to traffickers, okay? Unannounced to us, unannounced that the app was innocent, we thought, or my daughter thought. We got the notification from the school. And after we had investigated it, after my wife had investigated it, and I had spoken to several members of the law enforcement, this app was true to be targeted as trafficking. We felt violated as a family. Here we are, advocates for R2R, for one voice, but yet it hits so close to home. It hits so close to home. Let me tell you guys, we love these things. These things are a part of our lives. But as Gloria said, they're also something to be careful with. Any app that you guys have that has the social tag on there, let me tell you, if these are traffickers, these guys have access to your pictures, to your phone numbers, to your friends, everything. We might not think it, but it happens. The bad guys are going after us via these phones. And I'm here to tell you, as a parent, all of our parents love us, right? And we take care of our children. But we think that a simple app is no big thing. By the time you know it, you've got 5 or 6, 7, 8 friends in your group, and they could be targeted just like my daughter was. The reason why we found out was because later when we had that conversation with her about the app, which she said she had on her phone, which she did, I asked her specifically, have you gotten any phone calls? She said, yeah. My daughter's very careful about not answering calls that are not from us or family or friends. But she had gotten several of them. And then she started to cry. And she said, Dad, I remember one phone call that I just accidentally happened to answer. I said, who was on the other end? He said, it was a man. What did he tell you, honey? Asked me what my name was and if I wanted to play a game. At that point, I knew we were even more violated as a family. I'm telling you this, guys, because it's here. It's here. It's here in Lubbock. It's around the block. It's across the street. It's in our area. And you guys can help. You guys can be the voice. You guys can be the voice. So I'm begging you guys, not only to remember R2R the run, but I'm going to tell you this. Remember to respond. Remember to respond. If you know of a friend that might be targeted, if you know of anything, please talk to your teachers. Talk to anybody, your parents. And if you don't feel comfortable with your parents or your teachers because you might feel that somebody might think different of you, call the church. Call the pastors. Call wherever you go. Somebody that you know and you can trust, because we have to be that voice. It's out there. So I'm begging you guys as individuals. It's not only the girls, it's the guys too. Be careful. It's out there.
That's true. That is 100% true. Can you believe that, how close it's coming? They are very brash, bold. It is astounding what is taking place. No longer are they waiting for individuals to come that they believe that maybe has a low self-esteem. They're just going and they are taking individuals. They are targeting them. They said they can come into a crowded room and they can tell, they can just have their eyes just scan the crowd, and they can, within seconds, tell who they'll go target without even saying one word to them. So I tell you that because you want to make sure you have an advocate on your side. Do not hide anything back from your parents. These apps, be careful, because the app that we had, I will tell you, was just a common app, okay? Just a very common app. It's not a bad app at all. It's an app where you can meet friends to go do things with. And there's an individual in this community that met his supposed friends, because he thought he was talking to his friends, because these individuals, these traffickers, had gotten hold of his contacts and started texting and pretending they were his friends he was talking to, and then went to go meet him at a park, and he was chased. This is in our community. This is very, very real, what has taken place. So we want you all to be careful. We want you all to also stand with us for R2R. And so we want you all to take these bumper stickers. We want you to take them and put them on your notebooks, put them on your parents' cars. We want to light up this city with the R2R logo, so individuals start saying, what in the world is that? And then we want you all to become human billboards. And you can do that by purchasing T-shirts. You can purchase this yellow T-shirt that we all have on, or you can purchase this one for the home that's coming for these young ladies. And start praying for this home and these young girls that are going to come to the home. And several of them are beginning to break the silence. Do not hold anything back, because it's not going to go away, you all. And so we're also going to leave this with you all, because remember, these individuals, they've been made sex slaves. And we think, well, that would become equivalent to a prostitute, right? And we read in the Bible the tail end of God's love for Rahab, and allows her to be in that storyline of his. And because there was a red cord that she threw out of her window, because there was a promise and a covenant made to her. There was a covenant by the Lord Jesus Christ, and a promise made by the men of God that said, you know what, we're going to come back for you, and there's going to be safety for you and your family. And so we're going to tell those little girls there's safety for you and your future. And we're going to give each one of you one of these little licorice pieces. We want it to represent the red cord. Take it, eat it, and enjoy it. But also remember to continue to stand with us, okay? So how many of you on June the 4th want to meet us at McKenzie Park? Okay, go look it up. Okay, thank you all so much. Please be careful.